Bruh, A1s in 2025 is crazy. Well, I'm back with Occula, and this is actually a speed run, an actual speed run. So we are pressing the switch and getting out, and then we go trigger this area, go do some damage to that rev, and then go grab the plasma, press the switch here to get the pain elemental out. Basically, we're doing everything that we need to do in order to get out of the beginning area and out of it as soon as possible. So I just kind of kill these revs here, do a little damage to them while I got time, and then doing that as fast as that was and being in that position helps these barons and pigs get out of your way just enough that you can go get the plasma ammo and then do this. Now pressing that switch, you have to be fast to get across. You saw those bars were actually about to close on me. Yeah, lost a few runs to that. But anyway, now pushing this corner with these imps. I do that in kind of a specific way, just kind of the way you saw, but that's kind of a safe place as long as revs aren't in there. Once the revs get there, I want to go around and out. I actually want to lure the revs to this side because there's going to be archviles later in that position. I do not want them reviving a bunch of revs, so we'll pull them over here, kill them on this side of things. Now this health is actually pretty low, and 49. I've been here like over 100 health and armor, but it's all right. Long as I've got enough health to make it through the next room, then we're all good. Kill this revenant for later, because we're actually gonna jump there later. But yeah, let's press the switch. Don't forget about it. That way, when we get to this side, we can just press the lift and move on. Having to go back for that switch is slow. But yeah. Now, next part, get to the top of this lift, and we gotta kill this archvile first, of course. Go with the plasma. It's nice, like, you don't ever have to like sit with the SSG in this map, so I really like that. Now, get that rev, and then we gotta work our way into this corner with this archvile. Gotta do it kind of an interesting way, can't just go all in and push to the corner, but gotta lure him out and work with whatever kind of situation he gives you. So he killed all those revs on that side, which is really nice, and now we're just gonna get him to infight with these Hell Knights. In the meantime, I'm gonna take out these imps so that multitasking, so that all of it gets taken care of. And then he's coming to this side. We gotta get to the other side and let him do his work there. And he's already infighting with that, so I figured I could do a bunch of damage while he's just completely ignoring me. It's funny when I'm speedrunning, sometimes it's like the psychology of things. Like I just start messing up like on just SSGing or using plasma on a cyber. But it's all good. Alright, this fight's done. I thought that guy didn't die and I was weirded out, so I went and checked. That's alright. Make these couple of jumps here, press that switch, make this jump to where that Mancubus was. Those cells are important. You really need them for the next area and for this. Yeah, and then this is the safest way of handling this area. Just get down here, and you can hide to the right, just like this. And see what I mean? These are the archviles I was talking about. I don't want them... There's already like a few revs in this little encounter. I didn't want them reviving the revs from earlier. Now this is an interesting fight. You saw those archviles down there. There's a big pack of archviles in the center of this room, and so you got to stay on one of these sides, and so it makes it really complicated to push around if you needed to. So you have to like hold off on one side for a little while. But yeah, and something else that's really important to this fight is at some point early on, while it's still imps, is to get in that corner and get the cells. You might have to back up the video to see it, but it's really important to this fight because it gets to a point where, see how tight it is? Now technically, yeah, I could have pulled that rocket launcher here, maybe. I find it a little greedy and I don't do that when I'm here. But it's good to use the plasma and just kind of work your way around a little bit, spend some time here, because we want the guys on the other side to get close enough to here, just enough that I can find a little way around. Just maneuver through here and get to the other side, just like this, and then go all in on this archvile, and then we can clean up. So something else that's really important to the start of this fight, you saw I grabbed the rocket launcher and I turned around. I went to that side over there instead of where I'm standing right now. Where I'm standing right now, there's a mank that can shoot you, so that's 64 damage that can just fit through those little tiny bars on my side there. But yeah, hit the other switch. When we hit both switches in this fight, opens up these archviles, and you have to kill them with the rocket launcher. I kind of like doing that because you hearing multiple archvile deaths, always really nice. Yeah, last guy, that switch, And being here at 5 minutes, it's on an alright pace. I gotta say, like probably under 9 minutes is like an alright time. You can do even better than that. But yeah. Now for this fight is the big finale. King Hunters first, and then start working down these cacos here. Now I just rocket them a bunch until the cybers start coming out and these pigs start coming around and it gets too tight in here. That's just kind of how I started off. Now cybers out, get him start infighting. I'll just keep moving around here and just kind of watch those infighting rockets, especially sometimes he's aiming at you. They don't really have auto aim, so if he wants to shoot under cacos, he can just as much as he pleases. But yeah, here's the other guy. I tried to, stay there for a second. Just, I wanted to see him shoot. So he shot those imps, and he, undoubtedly got some cacos aggroed on him, and that's what we need to see. So that's good. And then things are getting tight here, so I'll get the plasma back out. You don't get a lot of cells until you get into like a certain corner of this fight, so just trying to open up the way, which now it's wide open there. Grab the soul sphere, grab this, and now we're kind of like halfway like back in control. I saw that rocket, I thought it was gonna hit that wall next to me, but it didn't. It ended up going like kind of in a different like trajectory that was safe for me, but still. We saw those infighting rockets, but we avoided them because we watched A1's video about infighting rockets and managed to survive. And just clean up these cacos last little bit here. At this point, it's a lot easier. Now there's not as many infighting rockets, not as chaotic of a fight anymore. And just clean up the last cyber here. Cybers through the caco corpses. Never miss the opportunity to turn every map into Dimensions Map 3. A lot of rockets here. Probably optimize this fight too by not running out of rockets like that. Pressing the switch releases some paint elementals. If you saw them, you might have just gotten a glimpse of them. They're right like all the way to the back and to the side, like over there. Okay, so I press it and I kill those Hell Knights just to multitask a little bit. And then as they get closer, I used to think that I was wasting time doing this, but to be honest, unless you can manage to get these paint elementals out in the middle of the fight and still survive and not like make a mess, blow your face up, that's probably the fastest thing to do. But if you just try to shoot at them too early, you don't want to wait for them to come to this side, I don't think you're gonna save any time there. But yeah, so paint elementals are gone. Lost souls are gonna be annoying, but it's all right. Also, got to listen for what side the cyber's on, and when you're jumping down there, just be careful of that. And then go all in on those archviles, send a lot of rockets towards them. This is a beautiful position. They really just grouped up nicely for me and then died immediately. That's amazing. Like, I never saw that in practice, but hey, no complaints here. Now we're just cleaning up this last little bit with these barons. So again, there's a lot that can be optimized about this time, but it is kind of annoying run to do because some of those fights just gets really chaotic, and especially if you're anything like me when you do speedrun maxes, sometimes you don't play your best at these. Sometimes I don't play my best at some of these fights when it is just like an organized encounter, like the archvile fight or whatever, because I'm just like thinking about speed and I'm just rushing myself. So it's not ideal, but there's that, and also the beginning kind of, you can get screwed over a lot in the beginning. You can lose all your health, and then you kind of don't want to move on, so you start over. And sometimes I would mess up on that little part where I have to press the switch and run across the bars really quickly. But either way, that's kind of what it was like running this map. So I got a few exits. I got a 1030. I got maybe like a 950 or something. But yeah, we got 914 on this one, and decent time. The thing for me was the best run of this map that I could find was a 928 by Mr. Zool. So that was a nice run, good route. A lot of the route was him. I added some just little kind of tweaks of mine, but overall it was kind of basically the same thing. So really cool stuff. I love the red, the aesthetic of this map. It'll get even better in the next couple of maps too. But yeah, good stuff. So this is Bemused and Tourniquet. Tourniquet made like the outlines. If you look at the forum, you'll see like the shape of like maybe map 3, I think it is, and it's like all in star tan, the wall texture that you see at the beginning of E1 M1, and then Bemused like detailed it and put all the enemies in. So yeah, cool stuff. Anyway, that was fun. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace.